Hey folks, Rob Dunphy here from GoSkate.com. We have a phenomenal lesson for you here today, and I'm really super excited about it because it's the first time that these secrets have been released on the internet. Now, they have been out in a DVD, an instructional DVD named Skateboarding Explained, but that's only for the privilege for you who own that DVD. So I figured what better way to educate the masses than to make a free video about the secrets of skateboarding, or the flick points to doing basic and intermediate tricks. So we have up here the board. It's basically a rough sketch of my skateboard, and you have the X's, which are for the bolts, and it's just a little bit smaller than my board, but it's pretty close. And we're going to be talking about foot positioning to start for these tricks, and also the flick points. So as you're doing a trick, you flick out. Kickflip, you flick out. Ollie, you flick out. Nollie, you flick out. And we're going to talk about where you flick on the board. Simple as that. Not a lot of trick tip videos cover it, so pay close attention, my friends. Okay, so let's start off with an Ollie, okay? Ollie, your back foot straight down. With a pop, you want to kick straight down. Basically, your ankle will act as a rotational. Kick straight down with your toes. With your front foot, you want to kick straight up into the front of the board. That's for your Ollie flick point. So, where do you kick straight up? If you were to cut your nose in half, your nose is this section here of the board, which goes up. If you were to cut that in half directly down the center, you're going to kick directly in the center of that area. So that's where you want to go for the Ollie. Nollie is the same exact thing, just reversed. You roll in this direction, you kick down to exactly the center of the board. Simple as that, my friends. Ollie and Nollie are pretty basic, pretty simple. Now let's get started with the flick tricks. That's the kickflip, okay? Let's get started with a kickflip. With the back foot, that back foot should be exactly straight to start. Your front foot, your toes should be at the second bolt. Your heel should be slightly off the board. And you don't want your front foot to be exactly straight, but just slightly angled. And then before, remember how you cut the nose in half? So for the kickflip, you're going to just cut the side in half again, and make an X. And that's about 25% from this edge for the mathematicians out there, and 75% of the way to this edge of the board. So you cut the board in half, and then cut the board in half again, and that's where that X is. That's the flick point for the kickflip. You don't want it to be 10%, don't want it to be 40%, you want it exactly 25%. That's going to be the best way, that's going to be the most effective way for you to flick that board around and really land on it quickly. So that's the flick point for the kickflip. The heel flip is basically the same starting position. Back foot straight. Your heel, instead of being angled with a kickflip, that's also going to be straight. Heel's just about the second bolt, toes slightly off the board, and flick point will be just about 25% from this edge, 75% from this edge. So cut the board in half again, and make the X. So for all of you beginners who are just getting started with this, what I recommend is you can take your board, you can actually make an X, or you can make a dot, whatever you feel comfortable with. One of the best ways to really keep that on there, and markers sometimes don't really show, I recommend taking a dot of white out, and just putting a little dot where you want to flick. Now, starting out with flick points, what you want to do is you want to look where you're flicking at as you're flicking it. That's going to help you focus, that's going to help you convert that flick and really learn it quickly. So, good way to start off. Now let's talk about the two more difficult intermediate tricks, the Nollie flip and the Nollie heel flip. The Nollie flip and Nollie heel flip are virtually the same flick points as the kickflip and heel flip, just reversed. So let's picture the board going in this direction. Front foot directly on the nose. Your foot placements are exactly the same as the kickflip and heel flip except for reverse. You're doing it down here. So Nollie flip, you're going to be kicking to the 25% of the board this way, 75% of the board that way, directly out that way. And for the Nollie heel flip, you'll want to be kicking to that X. So it's simple as that. It's simple as that. There's 6 flick points on a skateboard for these tricks. Kickflip, Ollie, heel flip, Nollie heel flip, Nollie, and Nollie flip. Now, what we've done is we've created a diagram for you to print off, to take it with you as you go skating, or just, as you're learning these things, to make the diagram on your board exactly the same. If you're serious about learning these, my friends, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do this on your board. You're going to really study this and how it works. Now print off the diagram, go out and give it a try, and we'll see you at the next video from GoSkate.com.